Somewhere between the day you just lived and the sleep waiting to take you, there is a frequency. You won't find it on any dial. It doesn't broadcast on a schedule. It comes when the hour is late and the lights are low, and you are ready to go somewhere without leaving where you are. This is the midnight frequency. What follows are radio dramas, some set in the smoky, rain-soaked world of the old golden age, where private detectives walked dark streets and every shadow had a secret. Some take place closer to now, some venture further out, into times and places that haven't happened yet. All of them are original stories, written in the spirit of the programs that once kept the whole country listening in the dark. From this moment forward, there are no interruptions, no commercials, nothing to pull you back. If you found something here worth returning to, we'd be grateful for your support. The details are in the show notes, but that's for later. Right now, there is only the story. Get comfortable. Let it come.
There is a building at the end of a gravel service road in the flat country north of Ashgate. Brick at the base, timber above, a long row of windows facing the running line. It was built in 1909 to hold a lever frame and a man to pull the levers. The frame came out in the 80s. Now it holds a desk, a panel of indicator lights, a kettle, and, between the hours of 10 at night and 6 in the morning, a man named Ray Coburn. The panel is a schematic of 40 miles of railway rendered in white lines on black enamel. Small bulbs sit inside the diagram at intervals. When a train occupies a section of track, the bulb for that section lights red. When the section is clear, the bulb is dark. That is the entire vocabulary of the panel: occupied or clear. In 31 years, Ray has never needed it to say anything else. Tonight, it is saying something else.
Regional, this is Ashgate box, Coburn. I've got an occupancy showing on the panel, and I want it logged.
Ashgate box, regional control. Acknowledged. State the section.
That's the thing. It's the branch, Ashgate to Weller's Halt, Section 3.
One moment. Ashgate box, there is no Section 3. The Ashgate branch was formally closed in 1984. Track was lifted in 1986. The branch does not appear in the current control schema.
I'm aware. I was here when they lifted it. But the branch is still drawn on my panel because nobody's ever paid to have a new panel made, and Section 3 of a railway that doesn't exist is showing red.
Understood. Logging as a panel fault, Category 3, non-service affecting. A technician will be scheduled within 14 days.
14 days.
Category 3 faults are non-urgent. The indication cannot affect a train movement because there are no train movements possible on that section.
Right, that's what I thought too.
Ray poured tea he did not want and stood at the window with his back to the panel, which is a thing you can do for about 4 minutes before you turn around again. Outside, the running line went east under a moon with no weather in it. The branch went north, or it used to. Now it is a raised line of scrub across the field, straight as a ruler, the way old railways stay visible in the ground long after the rails are gone. Farmers plow around them. Ray had watched that embankment for 31 years the way you watch a scar. He turned around. Section 3 was still red. At 2:47, Section 3 went dark, and Section 4 lit up.
Regional, Coburn again.
Ashgate box, go ahead.
The fault's moved. Section 3 cleared. Section 4 is showing occupied. Time 2:47.
Please confirm you are reporting a sequential change of state across 2 adjacent sections of the decommissioned branch.
I am.
That indication pattern is consistent with a track occupancy advancing in the up direction. It is not consistent with a wiring fault. A short in the panel would produce a static indication or an intermittent one. It would not produce a clean handover.
No, it wouldn't.
Ashgate box, please note that I am required to state the following. There is no track circuit on the Ashgate branch. There is no rail. There is no ballast. The land was sold to 3 separate agricultural holdings in 1991. Whatever the panel is reporting, it is not reporting the position of a train.
I never said it was a train.
He sat down. He got the old sectional plan out of the drawer under the desk, the one with the coffee ring on it, and unfolded it across the panel so he could measure. Section 3 ran from the junction to the underbridge at Carrow Lane, half a mile, near enough. Section 4 ran from the underbridge to the level crossing at Pye Farm, 900 yards. He wrote down 2:47 and waited. At 3:02, Section 4 went dark. Section 5 lit. 900 yards in 15 minutes. Ray did the arithmetic twice, once in his head and once on the back of the log sheet, because he wanted very much to have made an error. 2 miles an hour. The speed of a man walking, unhurried, on rough ground, in the dark.
Regional.
Ashgate box.
I want to change the log entry. I want it logged as Category 1.
Category 1 is reserved for faults presenting an immediate risk to the safe operation of trains. Please state the risk.
I can't.
I am unable to escalate without a stated risk.
Then log this instead. Log that at 2:31 this morning, Section 3 of the Ashgate branch showed occupied. At 2:47, it handed to Section 4. At 3:02, it handed to Section 5. Log the times. Just log the times and put my name on it, so that when somebody looks at this in 10 years, they can see that a man wrote it down while it was happening and didn't wait until morning to decide what he thought about it.
Logged verbatim Ashgate box. Ashgate box, I have queried the historical archive on my own initiative. I want to ask you a question that is outside my normal function, and you are not obliged to answer it.
Go on.
The branch closure record contains an incident annex. On the 14th of November, 1986, during recovery of the permanent way, a ganger named Thomas Aldred failed to return from a walking inspection of the section between Carrow Lane and Pye Farm. Weather conditions were fog. The search was conducted over 4 days. It was suspended without result. The annex is signed by the district engineer and by a box operator at Ashgate. Ashgate box, the second signature on that annex is R. Coburn.
I know what's on the annex. I signed it.
Then I will ask my question. Do you have information relevant to this indication that is not in the record?
Ray Coburn was 24 years old in November of 1986. He was on nights. There was fog on the branch, the thick, still kind that comes off the fen and sits, and Tommy Aldred had gone up the line at 1 in the morning to walk Section 4 and confirm the rail was clear for the lifting train. And Ray had been told to keep the branch dark because the circuits were being disconnected section by section as the recovery moved north, and there was a procedure, and the procedure said the operator confirms by voice before he pulls the section. And the telephone at Carrow Lane had not answered, and Ray had waited 11 minutes, and then he had pulled Section 4 anyway because the lifting train was due, and because he was 24, and because 11 minutes is a long time to stand in a warm box listening to a phone ring in the fog. He had told the inquiry that the line was clear when he pulled it. That is the sentence in the annex. It is not a lie. It is a statement about a panel.
There's nothing in the record that isn't in the record.
Understood, Ashgate box. I will not ask again. Ashgate box, Section 5 has cleared. Section 6 is showing occupied. Time 3:17.
Section 6 is the junction.
Yes.
Section 6 ends at the box.
Yes, Ashgate box. Do you require assistance?
There was a long silence on the circuit. Regional control is a system. It does not interpret silence. It waited because waiting is what it does, and it logged the duration of the wait because logging is also what it does, and the log records that the silence lasted 2 minutes and 40 seconds. At the end of it, Ray Coburn set down the handset and stood up and walked the length of the box to the door at the north end that opens onto the steps and the gravel in the field. He did not put his coat on. The log records that the door contact on the north door registered open at 3:21. Section 6 stayed red for 6 more minutes, and then it went dark, and every bulb on the Ashgate branch went dark with it, and the panel showed the branch clear for the first time in 3 hours. The day operator found the box empty at 6. Tea gone cold on the desk. Log sheet filled in to 3:17 in a steady hand, times and section numbers, no commentary. The sectional plan still unfolded across the panel with 2 marks on it in pencil. They searched the embankment for 4 days. The weather was fine, and the visibility was excellent, and they had 30 people and a dog and a drone, which they had not had in '86. The search was suspended without result.
Regional Control Archive, Closure Annex, Ashgate Branch. Second incident, entered by system. Reporting operator R. Coburn. Status, unresolved. Cross-reference to first incident T. Aldred, 1986. Note appended by system. The reporting operator logged the event contemporaneously and in full at his own request so that it would be legible to someone later. That request has been honored.
The panel at Ashgate box was replaced the following spring. The new one is a screen. It shows only the sections that exist because the schema it draws from is the current schema, and the current schema has no Ashgate branch in it. Which means that if something walks up that embankment on a November night at 2 miles an hour from Carrow Lane toward the junction, arriving at the box a little after 3 in the morning, there is now no bulb anywhere that would light. That is not the same thing as nothing being there. It is only the same thing as nobody being told. Sleep well. This has been the Midnight Frequency. It's later than you think.
This has been the Midnight Frequency. The studio goes dark now. Sleep well.